Do you remember when YouTubers lied to me? If not, it's a video where I showed big YouTubers claiming a $100 Seiko beats a Rolex. So I bought one, and man was I duped. So the lesson here is never trust a YouTuber.
Hey, aren't you a YouTuber?
Shh. So in that video, after my disappointment, I had to upgrade the watch. I upgraded the crystal. I upgraded the case back, the bracelet, and even the movement. So what's my point? Well, the general consensus was you guys saying that if Seiko did those upgrades, you would be a buyer. And I don't know if they watched, but they've done it. I got a couple thoughts on this watch. It's going to be interesting. Let's find out if you're gonna open your wallet right now. Introducing the all-new Seiko 5 Sports SNXS series. That's tough to say. And today I have referenced SRPK87. This watch is back because it had a cult following on YouTube. People called it the $100 watch that looks like $1 million bucks. But for this new generation, Seiko did a 180, focusing this time on a more sporty watch. And the biggest change is the updated case. It's all new and it's leaps and bounds above the previous generation. It finally has a hug the wrist downward lug profile, and they even added brushing on the sides and top of the mid case. There's also laser sharp high polished bezels in between that really brings the series up a notch. And when we see them next to each other, we can definitely see the similarities. You know they're from the same family, but they're totally different. The bezel is now taller and the mid case is also a little bit thicker. These two factors give the watch more wrist presence and a more sportier look. So far, so good. Big improvement on the case, but let's check out those dimensions. I got 37.4 millimeters in diameter, a secret measurement of 30 millimeters. That is 1 millimeter smaller than the last generation, but remember, it was put together differently. The edges of the sapphire on the previous gen were hidden under that bezel, and if you're confused, just check out the old video where we take it apart and mod it, and you'll see what I'm talking about. For the thickness, I got 12.6, and now we got drilled lugs with a lug-to-lug of 44.7. So the lug-to-lug is about 2 millimeters longer and a thicker profile. But Seiko engineered this thing to have a lower center of gravity, and it definitely shows. That terrible case back float from the previous generation is thankfully gone, even with the brand new Rolex display case back. Be sure to check out the faraway wrist shots throughout this video and let me know how it wears. The crystal is no longer flat, it is now curved, but it remains Rolex. So that's one criticism they forgot to fix. And I know a lot of you will be angry about that, and rightfully so. But don't worry, I know the aftermarket companies will be making sapphires for this watch, and it should be a straightforward upgrade. Alright, let's swing back to the positives, the crown. True to the original Seiko 5s, the crown is in the same 4 o'clock position. But the new crown comes in at 4.5 millimeters compared to the old 3.5, and it isn't just bigger, it's thicker and bolder, sticking out more for easier operation. Plus, they've cleverly notched out the bottom of the mid case, giving your fingernail space to pull it out. It's a small detail, but a very nice touch. And let's keep going with the positives. That push-pull crown helps seal this watch to an impressive 100 meters of water resistance. That is a huge upgrade over the last gen, which was only rated for rain and hand washing at 30 meters. Okay, we need to discuss the dial. This one is called Rinse Blue, and it's no longer a sunray dial. I'm not too keen, I love sunray dials, but it does make the watch more sportier, so I get why they did it. However, it still boasts an applied Seiko logo, applied indices, and a framed date window. They've also upgraded those hands with contrasting finishes for better legibility. And there is something interesting I'm sure you guys noticed already. It's the blacked out date discs. I was okay with the white date discs, but let me know how you guys feel about it down in the comments. And if you're not feeling the rinse blue, they do have a black and silver variant. All three models come with a bright orange second hand and contrasting chapter rings. The silver model features a black chapter ring and the black model features a silver. So if you don't like that look, you can buy both and just swap the insides. Okay, what about that bracelet? I think it's a big improvement, although I will say it's still ripping hairs from me. It happened twice, I don't know how, but it did. It is now an 18mm lug width instead of 19, and it does taper down to 16. It has solid end links and solid links that are fixed via split pins, so easy to size, but it's only got 2 micro adjustments, twin button released, and a pressed clasp. So we got a little bit of a mixed bag, but overall, it's a big improvement. Because the old bracelet was really a piece of junk and unwearable. Now let's check out the Lume. We got Seiko's powerful Lume Bright, and it's just painted on top of those applied markers. And even though it has the coloring, the faux patina cream color, the Lume is Seiko, so it's still gonna be decent. Okay, so now the best part. The new series is powered by Seiko's 4R36. Which is an upgrade over the old 7S26. It now has hacking and hand winding. It's got 24 joules, 21.6 VPH, and 41 hours of power reserve. This was a much needed upgrade. It's tough to live without hand winding. I really like this movement. It's extremely affordable and robust, and I find it performs better than the 6R. It's anecdotal, but that's what I've been seeing for years. Now for the moment of truth. The $100 question. Is it still $100? No, of course not. And yes, the vibe is completely different now. I don't know if I want to say it, but I think it might have lost a little bit of X factor that the old one had. The old one had that magic. I'm not really sure why. Maybe you guys can let me know in the comments. But this new one does come in at a retail price of $395 USD. Okay, that's affordable for a Seiko. You know what? It's the times we live in. They updated this icon with some pretty good features. The extra water resistance, the new movement, the better case finishing, and of course, now you are getting a wearable bracelet. In the end, I do like what they've done here to bring it back, but I'm going to stick with my original. Maybe wait till the hype dies down, get it at a discount, and maybe then we're talking. But for the most part, Seiko did give you guys what you wanted. Are you guys happy with the update? And more importantly, is your wallet open?